Hey, Tunis. Hey, Tunis. Ugh. It appears as though we are not the only ones doing art today. A few of my fellow streamers are doing art today as well. So, an interesting day, chat. How's your day? My day's going okay. We're almost done. Fourth War for Armageddon. It'll be done sometime today. Hello, Will. Hey, Chico.
We'll stop watching nuclear meltdowns.
Nuclear meltdowns?
We were watching Chernobyl.
You were watching what?
Chernobyl, the HBO miniseries.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
The critically acclaimed Chernobyl series?
Yeah, it's really good. I love it. It's great. As we were talking about, there are several problems. Like, one, there are a couple people that are demonized, even though they shouldn't have been.
Fairly.
Yeah.
The who?
They're in the show. They demonize one nuclear engineer as just being absolutely incompetent. But
he really wasn't.
Yeah, no, in real life, he was probably the most competent person at the place. It's just everyone above him was...
They need a scapegoat.
Yeah, basically.
And he accepted being a scapegoat. And he purposely accepted being a scapegoat. That's the thing. Like he...
Yeah, during the trial, the Soviet government went to him and was like, hey, we need somebody.
And you're going to die anyway, so sign this.
Yep.
And he was like, yes, I agree.
Look after my family and everything, right?
I think essentially, yes, but like...
Yeah. I think his family got like a couple hundred rubles extra a month.
Moved up like a class of accommodation or something, like level
of state housing.
Yeah. Basically, have you played Papers, Please?
Yes.
That's what happened.
Yeah. I have played Papers, Please. I have not beaten Papers, Please. Because I suck horribly.
It's such a good game.
Oh, it's such a good game. I just suck at it.
My advice for it is, do you have a second monitor?
Yeah.
Like throw up all the information on like on Notepad on your second monitor.
That's a
like
smart
whenever
idea.
they add a new rule, each week, just add it to your Notepad, so you just have something quickly to look at.
It's the fact the game does that horrible thing of like you'll get into it and you'll get to like a point in the game where it's like, right, I just need to make this amount of money this week so that we can pay for this, and my kid will get medicine and I'll be fine. And they've put this new rule on me, and now there's someone basically in front of me begging to be let into the country and like to be given a hope, and I can't let them in because they're not like I can't
they're
do
not
it.
a citizen.
But I'm now morally compromised because I want to help them, but I can't because I just have to do my job, and it puts you into that thing of like, it's the whole banality of evil thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it literally puts you into the situation of, you know, I'm just following orders at this point.
Yeah. It's the what they call that test. Will, you probably know exactly which test I'm talking about. The psychological experiment after World War II, where they took a bunch of people and
Oh, the shock test?
Yeah, the shock test. That's it.
Yeah.
It's that, but a video game.
Yeah.
Which never
But
take the
it's
bribes.
really-
I have learned
No.
never take the bribes. They're never worth it in the game.
Oberdin is also really good. That's well worth playing if you haven't played it.
Beholder is also another good one along the same lines.
Yeah. Have you played Return of the Oberdin?
I have not.
I haven't.
So Return of the Oberdin is you are it's made by the same guy that made Papers, Please, and it's a completely different art style. And what it is the I want to say it's like the 1850s or something like that. And you are an insurance evaluator who is sent to do an appraisal of the ship called the Oberdin that has returned after 50 years of being basically lost at sea.
Oh.
And you're walking around the ship, and you have to. The idea is that you're writing reports on what happened to all of the crew, essentially.
Oh.
And you work out. The conceit of the game is that you have a, I think it's a magic stopwatch or something like that, that allows you to see the last 30 seconds of a person's life, like just before they're killed or just before they die. So you have to find all of the members of the crew and all the passengers and use a stopwatch on them, and then figure out what killed them. And it's really interesting. It's really interesting because what people don't do is go, oh no, I'm about, in the last moments, their last words are not, no, John, my friend who I've known for my entire life, who's going to shoot me with a gun. You actually have to like work out from like evidence and stuff, like how this person then died. Essentially.
Interesting. Do you reckon the Babdab War might have changed a Gilliman return prior to it? Massively.
Yeah.
Sorry I interrupted you.
No.
You're good.
Continue what you were saying?
I was gonna say that the whole point of Badab though is that it's like this is the slight issue with Badab in the way it's been done by Forge World, which is they made it like the campaign thing and people think of it as like this like singular event. The Badab War events like the Badab War are supposed to happen all the time.
Yeah.
Like maybe not to quite the same extent, but like Space Marine chapter goes rogue, other Space Marine chapters are sent in to punish them, is like happening all the time in 40k.
Yeah.
Because the Imperium is basically a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah.
Like it.
I mean, not as large of an event, but
I want people to
there are records of any others.
I want people to understand this about Warhammer 40k and the Imperium. The Imperium is a fucked up state that will happily fuck you over if you dare cause it a little bit of issue. That's the problem here. And the Badab War is entirely just, as Will said, a commonality within the Imperium, because Space Marines are told, you can do this. You have all the power to do this. And then they do it, and then another system bitches about it, but since Space Marines aren't a part of the Imperial bureaucracy for an extended period of time, they don't know how to navigate the politics of it. So everything gets bogged down in political quagmire, and these chapters just get so frustrated with it that they say, fuck it, we're taking this shit whether you like it or not, because we need it. And then they're declared excommunicate traitores, and then other chapters are either told the truth because they don't give a shit, or are lied to by that same political force, and then sent to go kill other chapters that they either A, get along with normally, or B, already want to wipe out because they hate each other.
Or
Also gonna read just my...
they simply because they are outside the Imperial bureaucracy, the Imperium really doesn't know how to deal with them other than murder.
Yep.
But also, like, the thing is, like, everything up until
That up?
like midway through the war, when an Inquisitor basically comes in and makes a ruling, like, Luft Huron is technically legally in the right. That's the crazy thing about it. He can just seize an entire if he can do it militarily and hold on to it. The law of the Imperium is, a Space Marine chapter can just seize an entire Imperial sector.
And that's the problem, is being able to hold it.
Yeah, like, which is the reason he can is because one chapter that has a grudge against the Astral Clause shows up and tries and deliberately escalates the conflict, which then draws in 2 or 3 more chapters who have like oaths of loyalty to them and stuff. So like, but like his argument as it's laid out in like the in the Forge World books is basically, well, this is what Gilliman did. His argument is essentially, my example of why I should be able to do this is Ultramar. Ultramar doesn't pay a tithe. Oh, sorry, Ultramar doesn't have to pay a tithe. Ultramar chooses to.
I don't remember about the Bad Ab War, but did any Forge Worlds side with them?
Yes.
With Huron?
No, right. So Angstrom is the main Forge World. Angstrom just pays its tithe to whatever power shows up.
Okay.
Whether that's Huron or whether that's the Imperials.
Yeah, they were basically just playing both sides of the war, so they didn't get blown up.
Okay.
Because in Angstrom's mind, this is a fucking common occurrence. It'll blow over. And then,
it kind of did.
Yeah, but then Angstrom got blown up. Would it change if Gulliman was there? Yes, because Gulliman would have heard Huron's argument, gone, okay, yeah, understandable. You can do a lot better in talking to me about it, but yeah, I'll send the necessary resources to your location.
Yeah. Hey, you probably should have asked me before doing this, but...
It's...
Oh, what was it my history professor said about fascism? Everything for the state, nothing outside the state. That was it. That's how they think.
Yep.
You either provide benefit to the government, or you're expendable. There is no in between.
I just remember when a crusade was sent into the Eye of Terror by a chaos infiltration and no one said, no, we won't send multiple chapters into hell and lose them. So you're talking about the Abyssal Crusade, and that's more complicated than a traitor popping up and consigning a whole bunch of loyalist chapters to death. Hi, Super Games. So, the Abyssal Crusade, we actually don't know the loyalty of St. Basileus. But, so, for those that don't know, Abyssal Crusade is an event in 40k where, well, not even an event, it's a short history blurb about how a guy named Saint Basileus judged over 30 Space Marine chapters to be corrupted by touch of the warp. Because several sectors of the Imperium have been swallowed up by warp storms, and several others rebelled. And those chapters in proximity were deemed heretical. So in order to redeem themselves, they had to go on a 100-year penitent crusade into the Eye of Terror. If they came out after 100 years, and were still loyal to the Emperor, then they would be judged clean. If they didn't, they either died or turned to traitor, which then confirmed it. The problem is that you get two very different stories about the Abyssal Crusade. From the rulebook and from Codex Chaos Space Marine 6th edition. With the rulebook updating that fluff a little bit. So in the 6th edition Chaos Codex, it said that St. Basileus was found to be a traitor, and all of his shit, along with him, were tossed into the sun. Like, into a star. Later on, though, they updated it and made it unclear if Basileus was a traitor. Because the people who hunted him down were the people that he fucked over. And it's a little bit justified, because as soon as they got out of, as soon as they got back from the Abyssal Crusade, these chapters, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 that made it back out of, like, the over 30 that went in. They were detained by the Inquisition unfairly, because they're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we made it through the Abyssal Crusade, and then they were told, yeah, but we're now detecting you of taint and stuff. What? But we just survived the Penitent Crusade. We are pure. And, yeah, they were found to be pure, but imagine how that pisses you off just enough. And then, what do you want to do with that anger? Oh, well, over 30 Space Marine chapters went renegade because this one idiot sent all of us in there, and it was obviously a chaos plot. It's left up to interpretation if Basileus was a traitor or not. Because the worst case scenario is that St. Basileus wasn't a traitor, and it's just more of the Imperium being fucking stupid, and allowing a priest to consign over 30 Space Marine chapters to death, based on the whims of how he feels that day. Or Basileus was a traitor, showing that their institutions are so easily infiltrated, and how one Chaos Worshipper can cause so many problems.
So many.
Oh, hi, Seizure Brax. Didn't see you there. Either way, the idea is that the Abyssal Crusade is to show that the Imperium is fucking stupid. And again, creates a majority of its own problems. Again, if you need a real-world example, just look to the United States. I know, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's the Abyssal Crusade. A lot of these stories aren't about, like, There are some stories in, like, those short little blurbs that are just like, oh yeah, like, X faction went here, they fought another faction, and then that faction won. But a lot of those blurbs are supposed to be, this faction shows up and gets fucked over because their own faction screwed them over. Kind of a thing. And then if you read about it in another faction's book, you find out, like, either why that faction fucked them over, or, basically you just find out why they fucked them over. And it's usually not a very good reason or excuse. Like, if you read Codex Ravengard from 8th edition, there's a short story, like, there's a short blurb in there where, the Raven Guard go after an orc attack convoy, like an orc attack force, and the Iron Hands are the only unit around, but the Iron Hands only deploy after the Raven Guard are dead. And then when you read the same blurb from the Iron Hands perspective, it's because the Iron Hands already knew where that attack force was and wanted to use the Raven Guard to weaken them. Because, and I quote, they deserve to die anyway. Because, canonically, the Iron Hands and the Raven Guard don't get along.
Not at all.
Because the Iron Hands are so full of themselves and believe that they could have won the Drop Site Massacre 10,000 years ago and blame the Raven Guard and the Salamanders for that loss. And they still hold on to that grudge. Even though anybody with a brain can tell you, no, it was 3v fucking 8.
And an ambush.
And an ambush. Against some of the best legions at the time. And several Titan legions. And their Imperial army. With no air support. Because the air support had got blown up first.
Yay.
If you ever want to meet a petty fucking, like, original Legion, it's the Iron Hands. They're extremely fucking petty. And Ferris fucked up badly. Yeah, Ferris fucked up badly. And the Iron Hands just can't accept responsibility. Because to accept responsibility means that they have to accept weakness. And they refuse to do that.
Because they aren't weak.
How dare you call me weak? You're weak. Fuck you. Also, these Emperor's Children, like, their main infantry units, oh my god, they're gonna be so easy to paint. I love it. Hi, Mitsuki! Good news, I got all the paints to start working on the model that I have for you. I got all those paints ready to go. I'm very excited to use them. Oh, by the way, TCOM,
Yes.
did you see the Iron Warriors revealed Gambit for Horus Heresy?
Yes.
That shit made me laugh. I can't be fucking bothered. Indiana Jones scene. For those that don't know, Warhammer Horus Heresy 3rd Edition is coming out soon. And Games Workshop is doing what they normally do, like revealing stuff piecemeal, teasing us with new abilities, new rules that are coming out. One of the new things, I don't know how this new rule is going to work. They're called Gambits. I don't know how it's going to work, but essentially, they revealed the Iron Warrior Special Gambit for Perturabo, who's Primarch of the Iron Warriors. If you need like a quick rundown of who he is, essentially imagine big-ass dude in big-ass Hulkbuster armor with tank cannons on his wrists, who has the personality of a petulant man-child, but the tactical genius of a fucking supercomputer on crack.
Wait, I'd change that to be more... He has the personality of a petulant brick.
Yeah. He's a dick. He's a massive dickhead, basically. But, he's a very, what's the word I'm looking for here? He's a very practical, war leader. Like, the special ability is that if he is in a personal challenge with somebody, 1v1ing them, he can't be fucked. He can't be fucked to deal with it. So he just orders everyone else to shoot at that person.
Yep. Oh, he's also super paranoid about people potentially assassinating him, so he has his own, robot bodyguard.
Which is a playable unit, and it's fucking disgusting when they're all on the table together.
Go fuck yourself! It's a great unit! There's nothing wrong with it!
I said disgusting because, like, it's nearly impossible to kill.
Good. Know your place, trash.
The only way to kill a unit of 6 of those things with Perturabo is if you just sink your entire army shooting into it and hope for the best. I hope you brought enough anti-tank.
You didn't.
You did not. Where did Will go?
I don't know.
The Iron Hands are not... Okay. The Iron Hands are not autistic. Let's put that to fucking bed. They are not autistic. They're just assholes.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're just asshole. Just dicks.
The Iron Hands are the embodiment of grief. Specifically, denial. All their subchapters and everything have been themed around grief. I was speaking about Perturabo. I wouldn't say Perturabo's autistic. I'd say he's a victim of circumstance. You gotta remember...
He's kind of autistic.
I wouldn't say that because...
He doesn't know how people work emotionally.
That's... So this is... it all comes down to... There's a lot of factors. Autism is not one of them. This is where I get, like, a lot of I am an autistic man, everybody. I am an autistic man. An autistic fuck, one could say. The Primarchs are not autistic. They are very much circumstance and, the Sheldon Cooper of 40K. Fuck off. Okay, so... When it comes to the Primarchs, there are a few key factors you have to keep in mind when talking about them. 1, the planet they grew up on. 2, were they found immediately, or were they left to kind of wander around for a bit on their own, or were they just entirely on their own? And 3, what was their upbringing like? Because Perturabo and Dorn technically have the same fucking backstory.
I mean, one was closer to the Eye of Terror than the other, but...
The other... Yeah. But just because they have the same backstory, technically, does not mean the beats of it are the same.
Or how they took the lessons.
Perturabo and Dorn were both adopted by their respective planets' highest rulers. Or, like, warlords.
They did not see them as kids, like with, Gilliman.
Yeah. The difference between them, though, is that... Dorn was shown massive amounts of compassion and respect. Whereas Perturabo was met with constant assassination attempts and essentially, like...
Just a tool.
And even though, like, it does say, like, oh, the warlord of Olympia, like, the state that he lived in, did try to, like, bring him into the family as, like, a son and everything, Perturabo never saw it that way.
Because it wasn't.
Because it wasn't. And, as well, Perturabo could, like, look at the man and he's just like, don't worry, Perturabo, I got you a brand new office. Cool.
How does this help me?
Oh, you have, like, all these places to do all your work and everything. It's not a gift.
That before.
It's not a gift for Perturabo. It is basically just an extension to what he was already doing.
Yeah.
A gift to Perturabo would be a villa where he could go relax.
Or a workshop to go make more toy titans.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He saw it exactly for what it was, just being used for their own self-interest.
Yep.
Which is what led him down the path of heresy, because he saw the same thing was happening with the Emperor. The exact same situation. I'm being used, and I don't want to be used anymore. I want to make my own choices.
Yeah, and... it's not the fact that that he doesn't know how to read people very well because he's autistic. He doesn't know how to read people very well because he's paranoid. Because his entire life, he's been like, people have been trying to stab him violently. So he doesn't have the luxury of getting to know somebody because he's scared that somebody's going to try and slit his throat while he's asleep. Dorn isn't autistic. He's just a fucking brick. He is the embodiment of the blue-collar worker, basically. He's very simple. He's very simple and straightforward.
Just want to do my job.
Just want to do my job, and I want to do it right. It's why he hates liars. It's why he hates secret tellers. Why he hates spies and everything. Because they're not straightforward, and they will lie to you. Is Perturabo still around in Modern 40k? Yep, he is a demon prince of chaos. And he fucking hates it.
Him and Mortarion just finished the War of Rust and Iron.
Who won that?
The 13th Black Crusade kind of kicked off, so no one.
It just ended.
Yeah, they just got bored.
That's the thing about chaos. Man, who won this battle? No one. Why? Both sides got bored and left.
Yeah. Though Mortarion was winning. Because it's kind of hard to field battle tanks when they're literally rusting around you.
Yeah, the Iron Warriors don't believe in God help. A Villa Workshop would be the absolute best for Perturabo. He would agree with you.
Kind of do.
But yeah, this is...
kind of do.
This is something you have to understand about the Primarchs. Gullyman... Comparing all of them to Gullyman is not fair. Because Gullyman, out of all of them, basically had a childhood. Because Gullyman's parents, his adoptive parents, were fucking normal compared to everyone else. Gullyman had the luxury of the best stable life out of all of them, and the only traumatic events to happen in his life was when he was an adult and could process it properly.
And even then, he had help. It
is common factor in the Horus Heresy that Reboot Gullyman always went to his adoptive mother for sage advice on stuff. Because there were just some spots he was blind to as an individual. He didn't understand people very well. I shouldn't say that. When it came to people and their natures, he had a lot of trouble, coming to terms with that. I am doing everything here for the benefit of everybody. Why do these people keep fighting me? And she tells him, there are just some people in the world that want more than what you're willing to give, and they will do anything they want to get it. It's not your failure if they do that. It's their failure for not seeing that they don't need everything. And yeah, he takes that in stride. He learns from it, learns that there are just going to be people in the world he can't please. And so he stops trying to please everybody. He's just like, nope, this is the best for everybody. I don't care what it does to you, because you're an idiot. And he becomes a good ruler because of it. In fact, he's a lot more tolerant. Before the Imperium showed up, he was a lot more tolerant than a lot of people give him credit for, because he actually allowed religion on Macragge. It's just that he had the rule of don't ask, don't tell. I.e., keep it in your own fucking house, keep it to yourself, and it's fine.
And don't hurt any other people with it.
Yeah. Which, cool. job, Gilliman. You've done the bare fucking minimum. I'm gonna open up a door. It's hot in here.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Also,
I got
Gilliman, still not a good guy.
No, he's still not a good guy.
He
Gilliman
still does unspeakable and horrible things.
Yeah, he's just polite about it, is the best way I'm gonna put it. Do you think the Warbearers or Iron Warriors will get their own armies first in 40k? No.
No. Number one, they aren't popular enough. And number two, there's already armies that kind of do their thing.
Yeah, they're considered the generic legions. Just like how
there's nothing. Go ahead.
Just like how the Ultramarines, just like how the Raven Guard and Salamanders are the generic chapters for Space Marines, they're the generic legions for Chaos.
Yeah. No, again, like with them, nothing's stopping you from painting them.
Yep.
In that style.
Oh, I meant out of the two. Neither. I'm not.
Neither.
Neither of them are going to get like their own individual army. They are going to be a part of Codex Chaos Space Marines until the heat death of the universe.
Yeah. As much as I like them having their own, back in I think it was 7th edition, it was a mess, and like 90% of the army was just Black Legion stuff.
Yeah.
There was really nothing special about it.
Because what makes them special? What makes the Iron Warrior special? Genuinely
Siege.
tell me. Siege. Cool. Do they have any really cool specific units that are dedicated to the Chaos Gods? No.
The Iron Circle.
The Iron Circle was destroyed at the Siege of Terra.
I thought he made replacements.
I don't remember if he did or not.
Well, either way, anyways, they aren't Chaos God specific, anyways.
Yeah. The reason why the other 4 legions get their own books is because they're Chaos God specific.
Yeah, they have their own unique. Yeah, you're good.
Hey, Nethercat!
So chat, what's up with y'all? You know, just Welcome back.
You would think in a game of only one of possible two choices.
Wrong.
Do you guys think anything new will come to the Grey Knights this year besides a codex?
Hopefully.
You're getting an upgrade sprue for one model that you can't even buy right now because it's off the store.
As much as I dislike Grey Knights, I do think they need better stuff.
Oh,
They need an update.
they need to separate their fucking boxes. They need actual units to be distinguished from one another. And they need to have updated Terminators.
I think they just... Everyone needs updated Terminators at this point.
Yep. Even though Blood Angels just get the regular Terminators.
I think they should get a special assault variant of Terminator. That'd be pretty cool. You know, replace the Furioso Dreadnought that they lost.
Fuck!
What now?
Leo, the guy who asked about if the Grey Knights are going to get new models.
Oh.
Yeah, no, GW just does not seem interested in updating the Grey Knight model line.
I wonder what their sales figures are for it.
Probably not very high.
Probably not, if all they're getting is an upgrade screw.
For the Dread Knight, specifically. And that upgrade sprue is a different weapon, a different head for the guy who's operating it, and an emblem to hang between his knees. Because I can't say
Exactly
the
what
other
you
thing.
wanted.
Ever been talking with someone and your brain just doesn't know what to say? Yes.
Yes. All the time.
All the time. I've had conversations in my very fucking server where I've had that problem. I've had conversations with my friends where I've ran into that problem. Where they say something, and all I can do is just stare at them and go, what the fuck are you talking about? It feels like Grey Knights get a lot of hate. They do. And it's because they were handled very improperly. So, I'm going to go over the history of the Grey Knights here for a moment. By the way, do I have any theories on how the traded Primarchs will return since the Emperor said to Morty he could be redeemed? No, I don't. I have no theories. I'm not going to take wild speculation and guesses. I'm bad at it. Being honest about that. So... The reason why Grey Knights are hated is because when Grey Knights were first introduced into Warhammer, they were not Psychers, they were not super special awesome Marines, they were just Marines in specially warded armor. That was it.
Specialized in demons.
That specialized in hunting demons. That was it. And then 5th edition comes around, and they get a whole expanded roster. Their lore is updated in everything. And not in the fun way. They're all retconned to be Psychers. They're all retconned to have the Emperor's Gene Seed in 5th edition. They get Kaldor Drago as a character, who definitely reads as... this is my super special, awesome, original character, do not steal.
Yeah.
Like, in the fluff, it is written that as a Justicar, a squad sergeant, he watches Mortarion, Primarch of the Death Guard, giant flyboy, by the way, kill his Grandmaster. Big deal kind of a thing. And this motherfucker manages to pin Mortarion to the ground and carve his Grandmaster's name into Mortarion's heart.
I thought it was his own name.
No. And now, he's trapped within the warp, wandering around it. Anybody else who fell into the warp, they usually die. Or become Chaos Corrupted.
Or spawn.
Or spawn. He has done neither. He's done none of that. He has walked around fucking over the gods. And he was just one example.
Yeah, the joke from If the Emperor Had Text-to-Speech, where he's just running around the warp spouting insane shit, it's not really a joke.
And then you get units like the Dread Knight, which essentially looks like a massive baby carrier.
Oh, the baby carrier.
And fluff is one thing, but then you play against the army in 5th edition. Grey Knights were the most broken army in 5th edition. Bar none. All their weapons can go through armor. All their units can learn psychic powers, like open up a black hole, your unit instantly dies. They could teleport. Get fucked, idiot. They were all weapon skill 5. which means that they were the custodies of 5th edition. Without the price cost of custodies in 5th edition. And those stupid-ass baby carriers? God, you thought you were safe from my flamethrower? Nah, I measured 12, and then I burn.
The pain. The pain.
So, yeah, their reputation was shot in 5th edition. Which then took a long while for them to recover.
I'd say they still haven't recovered from it.
Yeah, no, they still read as the super special, awesome, mega, ultra secretive chapter of demon hunters that are super pure, special, awesome, never gonna die.
Because they're in a corner now. It can't really change that.
Yep. And then when you actually read about them, they're the most boring motherfuckers you'll ever read about. They're so goddamn boring. No personality whatsoever. It is literally written in their lore that their personalities are wiped.
Memory wiped.
It's
A
why
lot of people
when
with
the
40K are memory wiped.
it's why when
Weird.
the it's why when they became playable in the Fantasy Flight Dark Heresy books, that the book literally tells you, yeah, don't bring these guys to social events. If you have a Grey Knight in your party, leave them at home. Because they will just kill everything on sight.
Or the Imperium will have to murder everybody because they know what a Grey Knight is now.
Yep.
Which is so fucking dumb.
Granted, Fourth War for Armageddon has really made me start appreciating them a little bit more because they're kind of funny. You'll learn it when the video comes out. Are they the 666th chapter? Oh wow, super cool. Yeah,
Thing is, they aren't even the 666. They just numbered them that.
Yeah, they
'cause
just took that
it's
number.
Cool.
So for those that don't know, back in 5th edition, psychic powers were not just, psychic powers weren't just like a name slapped onto an ability. They were actual, like, shooting or buff spells that were handed out during the game. How it worked was, back in 5th edition, was that your Psyker had a mastery level. And each spell costed a mastery level to cast it. So, if I wanted to cast a level 2 spell, I needed to have mastery level 2. So I could either cast 2 mastery level 1, or 1 mastery level 2 if I was mastery level 2. Grey Knights could get to
Similar to
mastery
how-
level 3.
Okay, so similar to how 5th edition does its magic slots for wizards, basically.
Yeah. So, the Grey Knights, all of their units, could get mastery level 3. Or 2. Because all of them were at minimum 1. So, imagine a squad of regular-ass Marines with power swords standing there, staring at your Armor 12 Dreadnought, drop a fucking black hole on it, pen its armor immediately because it's strength 10, AP 1, and then blow it up. Because they heard it. Not dropped its wounds to 0. Killed it.
No saves.
No saves of any kind allowed.
Dead.
Get fucked, idiot.
And also remember, that if you were playing Chaos or any other psychic army, you could be playing against you could be playing against fucking Blood Angels. If you roll badly, you could summon Grey Knights by accident.
Oh, and then 7th edition happened. Holy fuck, 7th edition hurts me. Oh, it's the best edition in all of 40k, says the Australian. I beg to differ.
Blast plates. Blast plates were the only good thing about 7th edition.
Chat, psychic powers back in 5th edition and 6th edition were limited down to what army you brought. I.e., Grey Knights had their own spell list, Blood Angels had their own spell list, Thousand Suns, well, Chaos Space Marines had their own spell list. That was it.
Oh, nice.
7th edition introduced universal spell lists. 2 of them were Demonica Chaotic and Deomica Pacific. Pacific targeted demons exclusively. Chaotic lets you summon fucking demons. Only 3 armies could summon demons. Chaos, which makes sense. Orcs, which is just funny. And Grey Knights. Grey Knights could summon demons. And yes, it could be a named character. Like Scarbrand or Kairos. How fucked is that, chat? I want you to understand how fucked that is!
In the middle of your battle versus Grey Knights versus Tau, suddenly there's demons.
Suddenly, the Grey Knight player reveals, yeah, no, I have like 300 points in reserve. What's that, Scarbrand? Yes! You want to know how I know this? Because I did it. I summoned Scarbrand. Oh, the penalty is that I take a wound if I do. Oh no! A single wound on a Grey Knight Justicar that I could save.
It's
On
like
a 2+.
It's like telling me my custodians take a single wound after a turn. It's like, oh, okay.
I take 1 wound. I receive the scariest fucking bloodthirster at the time.
And you might not even take that 1 wound. You could still save it.
Yep. It's
not even like a trade-off thing where like, hey, you could do this, but you're gonna take a wound to do it. Nope. You could save it.
It
was
was
a 2-up save, wasn't it?
2-up, yeah.
Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, you're making that save.
Yeah, it was just, it was poorly thought out. Much like 7th edition was.
Yeah, I will die on this fucking hill. Blast plates were the only good thing about 7th edition.
Yep.
I want them back.
You play Horus Heresy, motherfucker. That's how you get them back.
Oh my god, I want the ability to throw a grenade and it land backwards again. Okay, that's
I want the simulation of rolling downhill, thank you, says TCOM.
I want to throw at a unit in front of me and hit the unit behind me and kill friendly troops. Okay, that's just funny.
It's okay, my rocket launcher squad scattered all their shots onto my friendly Imperial Fist player. Oops. Poorly thought out sounds like a massive understatement. I could go into a massive amount of ranting about how 40k over the years became so fucked. But let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. 5th edition was the start of rules bloat. What does that mean, rules bloat? Basically,
too many rules.
Too many rules, and a lot of them did the same thing. Like, for example, you would have the Dark Eldar get an ability called Fleet of Foot, and basically it allowed them to run over cover. But then in several other army books,
They get Swift.
they get like Swift of Foot, or like a different rule that was entirely a different name, but was the same goddamn rule.
Yeah.
Repeat
Oh, and they
ad
shall know
nauseam.
no fear too. That
And
was
they-
bullshit.
Oh yeah, and they shall know no fear. I don't give a shit about leadership, even though every other fucking army in the game did,
Except for Space Marines.
except for
The
Space
only
Marines.
army.
Oh yeah, if I recall, Guardsmen could not hit Eldar flyers, I think, in the 7th. Yeah, no, Eldar
Yeah.
flyers were introduced in 6th edition, near the end of 5th edition, but properly in 6th edition, and they were bullshit.
Yep. The only unit. Well, it wasn't the only unit, but the only viable unit I could bring in the guard that could shoot down was a Hydra.
And they were garbage.
That's it. Yep.
They were they were an armor 11 unit. And if that Eldar flyer got first turn, well,
You're done.
you're done.
Because that Hydra's being prioritized.
Yeah, it's
It's the reason why, and like in a lot of, if you go back and like watch a lot of those old 7th edition battle reports, you'll see people bring like 8 Hydras
yeah,
because they die so fucking fast.
it was sad. Hey boss, how you doing? I'm doing all right. But so rules bloat became very bad, especially in 6th edition. It got worse in 6th edition. So they made 7th edition halfway through 6th edition to essentially try to compartmentalize and organize it to be better understood.
Which backfired.
Which backfired massively because it just allowed a lot of broken shit to happen.
Yeah. I mean, some of it was absolutely funny, like the Death Strike missile launcher having a range of infinite.
Yep. But
That's funny.
But then you get the
I don't
annoying
mind that.
shit. But then you get the annoying shit, like Tau and Eldar, Taudar being able to be taken together as an army.
Yep. Yep.
The entirety-
What was that called? Come the Apocalypse. There it is.
Yep. There was an ally chart in 6th and 7th edition. In 6th edition, Tau and Eldar were battle brothers, which means that they could benefit each other's roles. They could have leaders join the other side's units and benefit from any buffs that unit could give.
Yep.
The only downside was they can't enter the other faction's transports. Then 7th edition comes around and they get bumped down from battle brothers to allies of convenience. Cool. That didn't solve the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because the Eldar
Some of
weren't
it-
buffing the Tau units, they were debuffing everyone else's units so the Tau could kill them easier.
Yeah. I mean, some of them made sense. Space Marines and Imperial Guard. Makes sense. Chaos and Demons. Makes sense. What are some of the other matchups? I don't think Necrons could.
Necrons
any-
could ally up, strangely enough, with Tau. They were allies of convenience.
Okay. Yeah, like some of them made sense. Others made absolutely no fucking sense. Like, Chaos and Imperium versus Tyranids. I
Or
don't
how
get
about
that.
how about Dark Eldar and Chaos Space Marines being allies of
Yeah.
convenience? Oh yeah, we only just want to sacrifice you to Slash. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know, the one thing you're trying to avoid.
7th edition was very bad. It was very poorly thought out and nearly actually killed 40k, in my opinion.
Yeah. Really, the only people it was popular with was tournament players. Again, because of all the bullshit rules.
And I was just in denial. And then 5th edition happened. Well, I mean, 8th edition. Then 8th edition happened. And fixed a lot of the problems, but not all of them. And then showed me a lot of other problems that could have happened.
I want conscripts back. Those were fun to use. Oh hey, your meat shield army is getting another unit that's even more of a meat shield.
They suck at everything. But that's the point. They're like a point a model.
Yeah. And you can take 20 of them in a single squad. 20 of them.
Hey OG, love your work. My wife and I recently picked up the Kill Team starter set. What is your favorite Kill Team squad?
Custodies.
That's not my Kill Team squad. That's your Kill Team squad. Sadly, I haven't been able to play. Sadly, I haven't been able to play Kill Team, so I haven't been able to experiment. Bring back Deathwatch, cowards. Bring back Deathwatch, you fucking cowards. You named the game after them. Give me my fucking Deathwatch Kill Team. And I will happily play Kill Team.
Like, even in 40k, their squads are built for Kill Team.
Yeah. Give me my Kill Teams back, you fucks. But yeah, I haven't been able to play it, so I can't really say which is my favorite. Because I haven't been able to play it. And not every faction got a Kill Team, sadly.
Yeah. I mean, they're still coming out with factions.
Yeah, they still are. Which is good. Because when I played the first edition of Kill Team, I ran Deathwatch. I still have my Deathwatch Kill Team on my desk. With their squad leader using a Storm Shield and a Xenophase Blade.
What happens to Blood Angels or their successors in Deathwatch if they fall to the Black Rage?
I believe that if they fall to the Black Rage and the unit doesn't kill them, they are dragged back kicking and screaming to the Watch Fortress, where hopefully there's a apothecary, like a sanguinary priest nearby, or they hold them in like detention cell, because it's just like we have no idea what the fuck happened to them.
He's just gone crazy because of some Xenos thing.
Yeah, like they immediately blame everything else but the Blood Angels' genetics.
Easy.
Yeah.
Because they want to keep that under wraps.
And then that guy is either handed over to the Sanguinary Priest or back to the chapter.
Okay.
In the Deathwatch RPG, it was you only fall to the Black Rage if you become fully corrupted. And essentially your character becomes an immediate hostile.
Yeah, I remember that. But, like, that's more game mechanic than lore.
Yeah, so usually it ends in death.
Isn't there one that uses Rubric Marines?
Yeah, there's a kill team that uses a Rubric squad. But they also use Zangors, and I don't like Zangors, and I refuse to play with them. Because I'm a spiteful little bitch. And I refuse to acknowledge that AOS is in my army. Because I found that incredibly lazy. actively hurt myself with my Thousand Suns because I'm just that spiteful. Yeah, Deathwatch doesn't have a kill team. Because
it was started for them.
Because remember, they wanted to discontinue Deathwatch. Because Deathwatch, believe it or not, is not a popular army. And God, I wonder why. It's like you released them at the end of 7th, gave them 3 months with an army before you released 8th edition, made their army rules extremely confusing to use. If you weren't already well vested in 7th edition's mechanics, and then essentially made like their whole shtick entirely mechanically pointless.
And then just practically forget about them by 10th edition.
Yep. And take it from me, I played them in 8th edition. I got their codex and everything. And I was...
You and like 3 other people.
Yep, and I was sitting here fucking suffering, man. This shit was ass! Half your units just, like... Half your units couldn't do anything because they just lacked the stopping power. If you went up against anything that wasn't Xenos, all your rules just turned off. And a lot of your stuff, even when fighting the aliens, was once per fucking game! And it's just like, can I die yet? Can I die as a faction? Like, is it possible to die?
And even when you did manage to like use one of your stratagems or something, wasn't really that useful.
They took our ammo and turned them into stratagems. They took the one thing that we had and turned them into stratagems. Because how fucking dare we have options for shooting, I guess. Oh, you want 2+ to wound? You want 2+ to wound? No, you gotta spend a stratagem for that one. Why would I ever do that? On a bolt gun. Oh, I hope you've been buying Primaris Marines. Why? Because fuck you, now they're in the army and they're way better than anything else you can field. But you didn't allow us to do that for so long, so none of us have that.
Didn't you also get an ammo type that reduced monsters' toughness by 1?
No. We had the poison round.
Useful.
We had the poison round, which could wound monsters and infantry on 2+.
I would have rathered my version. That would have been a lot more useful.
Probably. But yeah, like, it was rough. And then, I don't know what happened, but they eventually, like, just discontinued the line. And then enough fan backlash existed that they brought them back for Grotmas. And now they're a playable faction again.
I still think they should have just shoved them into the Inquisitor Codex.
Yeah, I think they should have just been a part of the Ordo Xenos.
Yeah, just... You already have the Ordo Hereticus and Ordo Malleus. Why not just throw in the Ordo Xenos in there as well?
Well, Ordo Xenos is in there. Not
Space Marines. Not kill teams.
Yeah.
Let me go get the Codex.
I probably go for Nemesis Claw or Plague Marines. I would love an Emperor's Children kill team. where it's like a flawless blade, some tormentors, some infractors, and some noise marines.
Crusade relic, agendas, level assessments. Okay. Here is every fucking unit in their codex.
This man's like standing on a podium saying this shit to me.
Inquisitor Codiaz. And honestly, the only difference between the two is Codiaz has a 2-up save instead of a 4-up.
Yep.
Draxus, Greyfax, Navigator, Ministorum Priest, Inquisitorial Agents, which are literally just guard.
They don't have Eisenhorn in there anymore?
Nope.
Oof.
Inquisitorial Agents, Navy Breachers, Rogue Trader Entourage, Voidsman at Arms, Vigilant Squad, Exaction Squad, Subductor Squad, Grey Knights Terminator Squad, because Grey Knights aren't in anything enough. It's not like they have their own fucking codex. They have to be in this one as well.
We need a way to have Grey Knights able to ally up with other armies.
Yeah. Watch Captain Artemis, Watchmaster. A 4-man Death Watch kill team. Corvus Blackstar. All the different assassin variants.
Wait, it's a 4-man kill team, not a... I thought it would be a 5-man.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, it is a 5-man. One Watch Sergeant, 4 Death Watch veterans. Which, their stat line is literally just Space Marines.
Do you want Space Marines for your Imperial Guard? Just say you get Space Marines for your Imperial Guard.
Yeah, that's just... Sisters of Battle, the Immolator, a Chimera, and a Rhino. That's all that's in their codex.
What's my take on Tau hate? Give me a moment. I'm gonna finish getting the white on this guy.
There's too much of it. Back in 7th edition, I understand the hate, but not in 10th. In 7th edition, they would just look at a tank and say, "I don't want that tank to be there anymore," and it would just disappear. It was super annoying.
Give me a moment. Just almost
No,
done.
Necrons had the same issue when they were introduced.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna get this right out of the way quick. When I was a tiny boy, tiny child, tiny announcer of games, I was a fucking dickhead. I was not fun to play against as a child. Like many other people weren't. I'm gonna let you dry. You dry over there. Same with your cloak. Dry over there. Tau hate is bullshit. Tau hate is bullshit. Army hate is bullshit. Don't hate the army. Don't hate the players who chose those armies. You know why people choose Tau? Because their tactics, they like to stay far fucking away and pelt you from a distance. That's a perfectly viable fucking strategy.
Yep.
It is perfectly viable. Viable. Yeah.
It's what I did when I played Guard.
Yep. Because you know what's the difference between Tau and Imperial Guard at the end of the day?
Range.
Range. That's it. Tau Empire are just alien Imperial Guard. That's it. That's all they are. Every complaint I can make about Tau, I can make about Imperial Guard.
Their vehicle options are a bit more maneuverable. That's like really the only difference. And they have more anti-tank.
Yeah.
But other than that,
most of the Tau hate nowadays comes from people that just don't know how to fight them, which it's pretty fucking easy to learn how to fight them. Just getting close. Close that gap.
Or people like me who are still mad about how they were in 7th edition.
Or old farts, like TCOM. Or lazy fucking losers on Twitter. Who don't read the books, don't play the game, and all they see is the memes about them being communist weeaboos, when A, they're not communists, and B, the only thing that's anime-inspired about them is their fucking mech suits.
They're more of a socialist oligarchy than anything else.
I literally made a joke about this. They are imperialist, because they're based on imperial, like, Japan and China.
I'd say more of an oligarchy.
Yeah, that's... They are an oligarchy because they're ruled by a ruling class.
Yeah.
That's their whole thing. But no, people hear greater good and assume communist weeaboos. They're not.
It's the problem in real life where people hear like the minorest of socialist talking points and immediately think communists.
Yeah. And it's annoying as shit. I've had a few Tau players here in my town stop playing 40k altogether because they just were sick and tired of being treated like shit for playing their goddamn army.
Yeah, no.
And it's horse shit, dude. And it's not just Tau players too. It's a lot of Xenos players that get get treated like shit unless you're orcs. And it's entirely horse shit.
And Tyranids. I don't really see a lot of Tyranid hate.
It depends on the Tyranid army.
Fair.
Crusher Stampede was bad. But guess what? You want to know why people ran Crusher Stampede back in 8th edition? Because there was no other fucking army to run. Because Tyranids were written so poorly for 8th edition that the only viable option for them was to run monsters.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's the same thing for Tau during 7th edition. Is their really only viable option to win and survive on the board was to turtle up and just snipe.
Take Ghost Keels, turtle up, have Eldar in the army.
And crisis suits.
Yep. No one deserves to be treated like crap just for how they want to play a game. If your choices don't work out, that's a learning opportunity for you both. Exactly, but a lot of people aren't mature enough to understand, take the fucking loss and accept it.
Yeah. Now, if you're picking your army because it's broken, I have a certain hatred for you.
Yeah, no, there's
a special place in my heart.
There's sweaty people, and I don't like sweaty people. It's why a lot of people went with Leagues of Votann, and then Leagues of Votann suddenly dropped off the face of the earth when their army got nerfed. And now all you see of actual Leagues of Votann players are the ones that actually want to play them. Which is a lot of the old bloods who remember squats.
Yes.
And I thought about getting into them. And then I saw that model pool and I'm like, ooh, that's too small for me.
Now you know how I feel.
It's
at least I can pull from 30k to fill out my model pool.
The only time I genuinely get mad at an army pick is if you're just doing the competitive list. Fun game. It's a for fun game. Just have fucking fun with it. Christ! I almost got assaulted because I was interested in just collecting a Tau bat. Really? Someone threatened to assault you because you wanted to pick up a Tau battle suit. Christ!
Do it. See what they do. Because I doubt they have the balls to do that.
That's a fast track getting kicked out of the fucking store.
That's a fast track to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crime.
And, again, like, there are certain army strategies that I hate going up against, but that's a me problem. I struggle against Eldar. I struggle against Tau. I have not, to this day, beaten Dark Eldar. Because my mind struggles with how far and fast these fuckers go.
I know you hate the Dreadnought list for Custodes. I heard you wanted more Dreadnoughts. So we brought all of them.
It's okay. It's okay. Strength 10 autocannons, announcer. Strength 10 autocannons. We can deal with this. We can accept this.
14 wounds.
My friend was originally going to do Tau because of how much it could have destroyed my Death Guard. If they're only choosing their army for that reason, they're going to hate that army eventually. And that's what I don't like when people are like, oh, I chose this army because it counters my friend. Then you're going to hate this fucking game.
Yeah.
Because the second that army stops performing, you're going to lose your shit, and you're going to hate them, and then you're going to have an army that you don't want anymore. And you wasted your time on, which then just makes you more brutally angry against 40k for no reason.
And money.
And money. It's why when I tell people, don't buy an army because it's good, buy an army because you want to play it. Buy an army because you like it. Even if you hate playing the fucking game, having an army that you like building and painting still makes it worth it.
Hell, but I highly suggest before you buy an army or do anything about that, go to your local game store and ask if you can borrow someone's army. Somebody will say yes.
Right now, I have World Eaters, Thousand Suns, Emperor's Children. By the way, I am building up that box now, TCOM.
Okay.
Yeah, it's finally getting built. In fact, after I'm done the video today, I was going to go build more. Because I finally want to play my Emperor's Children. Because now I have time. Chaos Space Marines, Sisters of Battle, Orcs, and Space Marines. I have a wide plethora of armies that people can borrow and play.
I have Dark Angels, Guard, specifically Krieg, and Custodes.
My wife, when they wanted to learn how to play 40k, I said, which one of my armies do you want to play? And they asked me, what do they do? And I explained it in the best way that I know how. And they decided World Eaters and Orcs. Because they're very simple armies to play. Orcs look complicated, but they're not.
Charge.
Yeah, just literally
Just
grab
charge.
every body you can and charge them up the field.
Yeah. As long as you're moving forward, you're fine.
World Eaters are not complicated either. Fucking get them. That's the strat. Sure, their new edition's codex, their new codex for this edition has made their stuff a lot more, you gotta decide on how you want to get them a lot more. Because sometimes going for devastating just isn't worth it. Sometimes you just need sustained and lethal. or you need that extra little bit of charge range. And you can get away with a lot more lethal hits and plus and re-rolling charge rolls than just getting lethal and dev. I said a lot of words that a lot of people are not going to understand.
You're also not really going to want to use lethal hits against, like, a guard squad.
Yeah, no, lethal against guard is pointless.
You know, having those options.
You take lethal against, like, tanks and shit.
Tanks or, you know, elite infantry. You know, stuff you need dead now.
Hey, boss, just got back from work. Hey, Aramis!
Hey, Aramis!
Eventually, I just want to, like, hang out with, like, all my friends and, like, a Discord call. And we do, like, that one thing for, like, Monsters Incorporated. Wherever someone shows up, it's like, it's potato time! Or whatever the fuck they said in the movie. At, like, at the restaurant.
Name, nothing's stopping you.
I know nothing's stopping me, I just want, like, a whole big group to do that with.
You have a whole big group to do that with.
I know, but I don't... I like to work quietly because I get distracted if I'm with people. That's why, like, I don't hang out on call during work, I'm just working.
Hey, Aramis.
But yeah, like, I am always going to tell people there is an army for everyone in 40k. Don't pick the army that's the best of the best. You will be disappointed in addition later.
Probably even sooner than that.
Yep. The amount, like I said, people chose Leagues of Votann because Leagues of Votann, when they were first introduced, was the most disgusting army on the table. Actually, hold on. I'll show you all an example of why they're so fucking disgusting. Where's Bricky's video?
That applies to every army, though. The same thing happened to Custodians in 8th edition.
Here it is. Hold on.
We were broken as shit.
Alright, here we go, chat. Going to full screen. That's the wrong thing. Alright, chat. This is 9th edition, by the way. This is when Leagues of Votann were introduced.
Personality. This is what I had planned for, and so I crafted a list, built an army, and played some practice games as the Greater 3.
Go subscribe to Bricky if you haven't already.
They went like this. Okay, so I see your Chaos Knight, and I give him a...
Toughest unit in the game, by the way. Outside of other fucking Titans. This thing has like 24 wounds. Like 24 hit points. So it's big. And it's tough.
Judgment token, so hits of 6 auto wound him. I'm gonna spend 1 CP to give him another token, so that's 5s. And since I'm greater 3 in the league, it counts as +1. So it's 4s to hit auto wound you. Okay, I'm gonna roll my Magna Rail rifle, and okay, got a 4, so it hits. It auto wounds. It ignores invul saves, and it's AP 4, so you don't get a save. D3 + 3 damage, 5 damage. Okay, here comes 3 more shots. And you know.
And that was just on their infantry, chat. That was just on their infantry. That's not even accounting for the massive fucking tanks they could bring. And that's why they were winning a lot by the end of 9th. And then 10th edition happened. And proceeded to Jason Todd them. And so many people sold off their Leagues of Votann army. Do not play an army that you genuinely are only going to play because it's winning a lot. Because the second the new edition comes out, you're going to stop winning. You're going to start losing a lot because the army doesn't work the same way as it did before. I like Necrons and Admech for playing and all the other armies for collecting. That's fair. What's your take on making a custom chapter and kit bashing? What? I have a homebrew channel.
Join the Discord. There's an entire channel for that.
Yeah. These Land Raiders were a pain. Land Raider equivalent, I mean. Oh yeah.
Battle train.
I hope you don't like playing 40k in 9th edition. Because their tanks were stupid.
I hope they bring back the battle train. That was so dumb.
What was their stats back in fucking 9th edition? Those stupid fucking tanks.
I don't remember. I just hated them.
What are addition mean? What?
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 Did you just have a stroke?
I think I did. I think I had a stroke.
Are you turning into Bubble?
Maybe. All right. Where's their rail cannon? Heavy Magna Rail Cannon. Strength 14, AP -4, damage 2d3 plus 6, Magna Rail. Invulnerable saves cannot be taken against shots from attacks from this cannon. On a modified wound roll of 6, excess damage that weapon inflicts is not lost. Instead, keep allocating excess damage to another model. And repeat ad nauseum until all damage is calculated. What are addition mean? What there is and I haven't fucking noticed. Wait, there is and I haven't fucking noticed? Yeah.
What?
I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know what these people are arguing about now. What the fuck?
I am so fucking lost.
Super Gamer, what do you mean? I'm a little bit lost here, buddy. You're gonna have
okay?
to. Are you okay? Are you typing on phone? I love that you go for heart attack. I go with like, are you on phone?
Oh, I go with strokes.
I think Gamer is asking, what is the reason why additions exist? Oh, what are they? Okay.
Oh, they modify rules, essentially, and introduce new units.
So, eventually, playing the same game over and over and over again, it gets stale after a while and you stop playing. Which means you stop buying models. Which means you stop buying books. Which means that eventually the company goes under because they're not selling anything anymore. So, when D&D, Warhammer 40k, and other games need to spice up life again, they release new editions. Which, the new edition either introduces new rules to the game, or fixes and updates to the game that were sorely needed, and now are official within the game. Uh, 40k has in total 10 editions. Probably going on 11th in the next year or two. And 40k changed how it played originally, like from first edition to second edition, it changed massively. Then second edition changed just a little bit when they jumped to third. And then third edition was how they did things for a long while, with cleanup in fourth and fifth. But that's the problem where rules bloat came in. Until we got to the problem of 7th edition, and I've explained why 7th edition was bad. Then 8th edition rolled around, which was a complete revamp of 40k. I.e., they changed how stats work. They changed how vehicles work.
How squads work.
How building your army works. They changed all of it. And it wasn't bad. They did this to make the game more accessible, which is a good thing. Because now the stats were easier to understand. The army building was easy to understand.
How long was the core rulebook for 7th edition? It was like a good 200-300 pages, wasn't it?
It was... I got the special edition for 7th. So they split the book into 3s.
Yeah, chat. That's how many rules were in 7th edition. But that's just the general rules, not the army-specific rules either.
Yeah, no, the rule book was a hardcover, which was, I want to say, 170 pages long. I want to say that. I lost those books a long time ago.
Why am I asking? I can just Google.
Yeah, it's almost like D&D. But, then, as well, they introduced a new thing called stratagems and command points, which was additional abilities that your army could do during the game at the cost of command points. And depending on how you built your army, you got... The more special groups you brought, the more command points you got. Which certain armies could get maybe a max of 6 command points with how they had to build, while other armies could get up to 18, which was bullshit. And once you were out of command points, you were out of command points.
Yeah.
Then 9th edition happened, revamping how command points and stratagems worked.
You could earn more.
You could earn more. You didn't build your army to get command points. It was your turn. It was your turn. You get a command point, and then your opponent's turn. They get a command point, and it was based on how much you saved up or how many characters you brought that gave you additional command points. Sorry, my dexterity was excellent.
Very few characters that did that.
Yep. But they did. They were broken.
Yep. Okay, so, yeah. So, Dark Millennium, which was all about the lore, was 128 pages. A Galaxy of War, which was about, the artwork and, actually painting miniatures, 144 pages.
Ooh.
The rules book, you want to know how long that was?
How long?
208 pages. There were more rules than there was lore in 7th edition.
Compared to now. Hence why, if anyone dares say, I think 7th edition was the best, I want to grab them by the scruff of their shirt and drag them to 208 pages. And say, read that! Give me a comprehensive guide on how to play that without making my brain explode. Talk to me like I'm a normal fucking person and explain how this game works. Talk to me like I'm a normal fucking human being and try to convince me to play that. That was 7th edition. Explain to me how 207 pages of rules makes this entertaining.
Yeah, so for 10th edition, the entire book, so art, lore, and rules, is 280 pages. That's how much chaff they cut.
Everyone's confused. Yeah, by the way, if you have dyslexia, I'm sorry, Super Gamer. Good fucking luck.
Oh, yeah.
It is... I sound entirely bitter and hostile because I am. 7th edition was just a bad edition. that nearly killed 40k for good reason. I love me some Warhammer, but by God. Man,
Yeah,
why aren't you
it
playing...
was-
Man, what are you playing there? I'm playing Horus Heresy. But its rules are the same as 7th edition. Yeah, but everybody's playing the same army. So, like... we don't gotta remember a whole lot of shit.
And a lot of the bullshit was cut too.
Yep.
It's a streamlined and a lot easier to understand version of 7th edition. And again, everyone's playing the same army with the exception of, like, me, because I play Custodes. So, and even then, almost all of my rules are exactly the same. It's just my stat line is different. And I can shut down psychic powers, which is super nice.
But yeah, like, 7th edition was bad. And the reason why... and don't get me wrong, 9th edition... 9th edition
its
was
problems.
just as bad. Because it was written during the not-so-good cough time.
I skipped 9th edition, actually.
You skip 9th?
Yep.
Oof.
Well, also, that was the time I was in the military, too, so...
Oh, that's fair. I think...
Didn't really
Did
have time.
When did I start my channel? Did I start my channel at, like, the end of 9th, or, like...
You started in, like, 2020, so... yeah, around then.
Shit. Again, I need to find, like, what year I started my channel so I can have a channel birthday or something like that.
It's, like, 2019, 2020, somewhere around there.
I meant, like, the month and day.
Ow. I mean, you can just go back and search for your oldest video.
But that's work, and I already have so much to do.
That's scrolling. That's just scroll. I could fucking do it right now.
Yeah, and you think I want to go back to TikTok and scroll through?
Oh, TikTok. Okay.
I like find where, like, I actually, like... Because TikTok is where I got my start, right?
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about, like, YouTube. I mean, it's the same. Like, I think you started your TikTok around then, too.
Yeah. I know I started my TikTok while I was living at my parents' place.
Announcer. There you are.
It's cringe. All my old stuff is cringe.
I'm scrolling. Starting the long process of you uploading 1 to 2 videos a fucking day. If not more.
Man, I wonder why I burnt out. I still, like, there's still comments on that TikTok where it's like,
Where are you?
no, like, why won't you come back? And I'm like, I've explained it. I've explained this. In the very video you're commenting on, I've explained this. And some people are like, oh my god, you're actually back. And I'm like, I literally say I'm not.
Eh.
I literally said I'm not back. I don't know, chat, would you consider me posting trailers and such for my YouTube videos on TikTok? Would you consider that me being back on TikTok?
or like a clip from a YouTube video that's gonna be coming out soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's just you advertising. Oh, all your old Save the Minion videos.
You know, I should just grab those and make them into a compilation and just throw them on YouTube.
You should.
No. A lot of creators I know have been doing it. I see them more as switching to a different platform. Yeah, I switched.
Yeah.
I now stream on YouTube and Twitch. Get fucked. Like, I don't get people. I don't.
It's almost impossible to grow on TikTok now, unless you're already one of those huge pre-established people.
By the way, when I was clearing out notifications for TikTok, when I finally like re-downloaded the app to make that one video, I saw monetization. You are now eligible. I'm like, what? And I check it, and it says, oh, you can now hire artists. I'm like, so I could do what I already did without using you as a fucking mediator. And not have someone potentially scam me with AI bullshit.
Great.
Cool. Can I actually make money off of you? No. Then fuck off. The only reason I will ever stomach that app and doing work for it again is if I'm getting paid to do it. I like entertaining people, but I also like putting food on the table. I'm sorry.
Okay. I've reached your first fucking video.
What was it, actually? I'm actually curious
Like-
now.
My computer will load it. It's the line of secession from the fast food industry.
Oh my god.
I'll send you the link to it.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Alright.
January 18th, 2021.
January 18th, 2021.
Yep.
That is 13 days before my birthday. Holy shit. Oh boy, chat. Oh boy. It's baby me.
Yup.
It's
Show
baby
the rest-
me.
You should show chat this.
I am.
Your very first video.
Let's look at this let's look at this 15-second video together, chat.
Your audio quality is just absolutely atrocious too.
Dairy Queen. Who's the princess? Is it Wendy's? Is Ronald McDonald the bastard child? I don't understand this. This was the very first video, chat. Wasn't about Warhammer. Wasn't about Halo. Wasn't even about Gears of fucking War. It was me talking about the secession of the fast
Burger
food
King.
fucking industry.
Yeah. If a Burger King dies, who takes his place?
The very first video that exploded.
Is it Dairy Queen?
No, the very first video that exploded was Franklin the Necromancer. And it was about cake. It was a necromancer who revived a skelly, and then he thought it was lonely, so he resurrected another skelly, and then
That's how he ended up with an army.
no, it's how he ended up with a village that like was autonomous and self-sufficient. And then
How dare you
the two first skellies that he
spoil
raised, were getting married.
Why would you ever do this? I thought they were lonely.
Yes.
Uh,
God. How anyone finds me entertaining is beyond me.
I think, yeah, it was the Dave the Minion videos that introduced me to you.
Dave the Minion was for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And at the same, like, I don't get why Dave the Minion blew up, but it did.
I don't know either.
I think people just, like, felt Dave's resignation with life, kind of a thing.
I'm feeling that right now.
Yeah. And again, like, I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't. Because, like, people love Dave the Minion and everything, but it started making me miserable.
Well, it's also the same problem as, like, shows like Supernatural, where if you let them go on long enough, like in Supernatural, they're killing God.
Yeah. Like, guys, I think I hit my peak stride when Dave went missing for, like, an arc. And then it just turns out
Yeah.
he was fucking with the leader of the hero organization. I think I peaked there.
I'd much rather a show end a little early than continue beyond.
What is
How do I word this?
Continue on
Not
beyond what is necessary.
necessary, but like, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say though. Like,
Yeah.
where you're jumping the shark. Oh yeah, super. A lot of people enjoyed those old videos.
Yeah, you're not the only one. And like
Yeah.
I've been rewatching the Halo ones a little bit because like there was a sick part of me that was like, where did we say fuck it? Like where was the moment that like you could tell I was not having fun anymore?
I think it's just because you stopped getting creative with it.
Yeah, and I just started spouting
Honestly.
off stuff. I became a glorified wiki page.
Yeah. Which, if I want that, I'll go watch Eckhart's Ladder stuff.
Exactly. Other people were like, "Oh, but I like the way you talk about it because, like, you talk to me like I'm a human fucking being." And I'm like,
There's people who already do that though.
cool. But as TCOM just said, there are other people that do it, and the amount of people like, there's also the fact that like, guys, comment sections are toxic as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Like TCOM, Owl Doll Arts, Shadow, and Aramis can confirm the amount of stupid people I had to deal with on the reg. I think you got into an argument with someone that I was arguing with.
Maybe?
I
don't remember that happening.
I don't remember.
It sounds like something I would do.
I remember you jumped in at one point.
Maybe. Probably.
But it was... Chat, when a creator tells you that, like, hate raids suck, trust me, they fucking suck.
They do. It sucks even more when it's like people using personal shit against you. Like what happened with me.
Yeah.
Because then it's not like some random person on the internet you can just walk away from. No, I know this person. Oh, I knew him. Very well, in fact.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
I just...
Takes a toll.
It takes a toll on your brain, it takes a toll on your mental health, and... the amount of people Oh, Dave the Minion. Dave the Minion was a series that I did where it was a superhero-based idea where a supervillain order from like Skip the Dishes, or for you guys it'd be Uber Eats down in America.
I've actually heard of Skip the Dishes.
Yeah, Skip the Dishes is basically just Canadian Uber Eats.
Because you have problems. The Canadian government has problems with the labor practices of Uber Eats.
It's not just that, we're also worried that like criminal cartels here in Canada will use it to like ship around drugs.
Oh, they already do that in America, so it's completely founded.
Yeah, it's a completely founded fear. And the last thing we need is someone who hires an Uber driver, basically finding the stash by accident, and then getting shot for it.
I'm not laughing because someone gets shot, but this reminds me, a few months ago, I actually had a police officer do my Uber order because they arrested the driver.
Hi, yes, TCOM?
Like, hey, yeah, like, what's going on? Where are the cops at my door? It's like, oh, yeah, you're not in trouble. We just arrested your Uber Eats driver, and I felt bad.
Why'd they arrest him?
Drug charges.
Ah, fuck.
So I think it was like drug charges and violating his parole.
Aww. Well.
Yeah, because the prison system in America
It's a
you're
revolving
ever
fucking
arrested-
door.
Yeah, because we don't set people up for success.
Either way, so the idea was take the most competent motherfucker you can ever meet in your entire life, make him deadpan as fuck, like he's just done with everything, and the only reason he's working with the big bad evil guy at first is because, and I quote, he offers healthcare. He offers dental.
Yes.
And then shenanigans ensue. I believe a lot of people's favorite video was when they made a Superman clone, basically. I think that was everyone's favorite.
It wasn't my favorite.
I don't remember what your favorite was.
I think my favorite was I think it was when they're trying the heroes are trying to break into the base or something.
Oh. I don't remember that one.
No, it was the female hero being like wearing two like she kept wearing skimpy outfits.
Oh.
It was making everyone uncomfortable.
Oh, like the BDSM
Yeah, that
heroes.
was my favorite. Yeah.
Because I saw Midnight from fucking My Hero, and my brain just went, make it funny.
I mean, she literally is a BDSM hero.
Yeah. And it just made Boss uncomfortable as fuck. Listen, he's not against their lifestyle or anything. He just wishes that he would not partake.
I do love Midnight though. She's a great character.
Oh, she is great. But basically, that story was Dave walks in on Boss, who's on the floor, like curled up, and he's like, "You good, Boss? What's wrong?" And by the way, that was
so horny.
Yeah, and he's just like, I kept electrocuting her, and she said harder. Which is like, by the way, the best concept for a hero. Someone who's doing it because, yeah, it's the right thing to do, but it also turns them on. So, like, it makes the villains uncomfortable, and they don't want to do it anymore.
I just had like this image pop up in my head. It's like when they come home after doing like a patrol or something. It's like, hey, honey, babe, I had an amazing day. The villain I fought was electric based. You know what that means?
Get the generator! It was entirely off the cuff stuff like that. And like there was my politics in it too. I did use it a lot to like
Oh yeah.
argue for like social institutions and everything, because that's just
Which
who I am.
made some people mad.
Oh, it made a lot of people mad.
Yeah, it's, you shouldn't have politics in your videos. Your silly videos. It's like,
Fuck you, I do
he's a
what I want.
creator. He can, yeah.
If I want to make a joke, I'll make a joke. Mama Skinny, thank you for stopping in. Also, my wife will love your username.
It's like me going to an Italian restaurant and getting mad at them for how they make their spaghetti.
Exactly. But yeah, like, Dave the Minion was my flagship series on TikTok, which is what really got me started. Like, Franklin the Necromancer was what got me noticed, but Dave the Minion is what set me off as a creator. And apparently, I'm funny. Apparently. But like I said, I got burnt out on it. I wanted to do other things, and
Yeah.
then I made the Nerd Afterlife series on TikTok. I've been here before. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing you anymore. I was Skittish Kitty. Oh!
Oh.
Hi, Skittish. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you.
I mean, having a different username. Kind of. Yeah.
Either way, welcome back. We do have a
Oh
Discord.
god. Uber Eats must have heard me. They just sent like 4 notifications to my phone.
Oh no. Trust the process.
See, shit like this just proves my point that they're all listening to us.
I mean, it was
There
already
is no
found
safety.
It was already found in a court case. They do.
Yeah. Oh, but that court case, if we're talking about the same court case, that one was for like Amazon Alexa, the Google version. I can't remember what Google calls theirs.
It's just Hey Google.
No, they used to have a
I know they did.
yeah.
You want to know how I know? Because there's one sitting in my bathroom.
Ow.
Unplugged, probably dead.
I remember they used to be Google used to be so desperate for people to get them that they started giving them away for free.
Yep. Google
As
Stadia,
long
what
as
are
you
you
got a Google
doing here?
account.
But yeah, Mama Skitty, we do have a Discord server. I just don't remember how you can join it.
Is it in your description?
I don't remember. I remember it's on the link tree, but I think that link is long dead.
I don't think you ever fixed the problem with your link tree regarding the Discord.
Probably not. I remember there's a way to do it here on Twitch.
Yeah, no, but I remember it specifically being a link tree problem.
Link tree, I'm in. Nice. Let me take a look. Yeah. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I will give you a regular minion. Welcome in. But yeah, so yeah, I did Dave the Minion for a while. Then I got bored with it and burnt out because there's only so much hijinks you can think of that's funny before you burn yourself out. And then I did the Nerd series, which was just me poking fun at nerd communities. Got your blue sky. How's that? Nice. I believe my wife's favorite one from that series was... Oh, which one was it? We just watched it. Dave the Minion was my introduction to you. My husband and I adored those videos. I'm glad. But yeah, I did Nerd Afterlife. Then I tried to do like other smaller series like the Primarchs and being raised by Malkador more than they were by the Emperor. And that was okay. I tried to start one where it was just the chapter masters from 40K that didn't work out the way I wanted it to, because people didn't take the hint that it was main legions only. Because they were like, oh, what about like Helbrecht? Helbrecht would. I'm like, because I don't want it. Chat, there are voices for characters that you just never expect for those characters. You never expect them. And then you hear the canon voices for these characters, and there has been no character more that makes me want to die listening to them than High Marshal Helbrecht of the Black Templars. And I still consider his voice to be canon, because it pisses off the people that I don't like.
Yes.
It's not even that. It's not even that.
Oh, it's more rough.
It's more rough and nasally. So, chat, I'm gonna show you a picture. I'm gonna show you a picture of a character.
Oh god, that destroys my throat.
Yeah, no, it will destroy your throat.
All
right,
I don't
chat.
know how the voice actor did that.
All right, chat. When you look at this character, what voice would you expect from him? What voice would you expect from this character? Would you expect a deep, gruff voice? A voice that would make any woman swoon, any gay man swoon, the second you hear him? Would you expect a more rough and tumble voice like this? No.
I imagine Jason Momoa's voice.
Yeah, like Jason Momoa. Yeah. Games Workshop grabbed us by the balls, dragged us in close, and whispered in our ear, no. We gave him Looney Tunes. What? We made him Looney Tunes. What do you mean? What do you mean you gave him Looney Tunes? I am High Marshal Helbrecht, High Marshal of the Black Templars. All who fear us shall die. That's the voice they gave him. That is the voice they gave this motherfucker.
I think one of the producers had just watched a Disney movie.
And by
the name is escaping me right now. But there's a character who talks almost exactly like that in one of the old 90s Disney movies.
Imagine Torbeck from Legends of Evantris, but nasal him up more, and that's Helbrecht.
And not funny.
And not funny. They play him very straight. And he annoys the shit out of me. I hate him. But I hate the people that love him more, so...
And the best part of his voice is, the canon reason why he sounds like that is because he screamed at the top of his lungs on 1,000 battlefields.
He's the worst ever
That's the
fucking...
canon reason.
They
say it in the first chapter of Hell's Reach.
So imagine, chat, listening to an entire audiobook with that voice being the main character.
Yeah. At least in Hell's Reach, he only has that voice in the audiobook for a single chapter, and he only has like 6 lines. I had that grace put upon me.
I want to die.
I haven't heard his book, and I don't want to. I'll read it instead.
Chat, and the only reason I went out of my way to go find that was because text-to-speech device was introduced me to his voice first.
Yeah, same for me.
And I'm like, no, that cannot be his canon voice. That is bullshit.
This has to be part of the bit.
This has to be a bit. It has to be a bit. It's not. It is played remarkably straight.
It's one of the only jokes they don't make about him.
Why? Just why? Because pain and suffering is fun. We suffer together. Just like in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Suffer with me. You will
Why
suffer.
do we exist?
You will suffer.
Just to suffer.
You will suffer as I have suffered.
I need to go back and play 2.
Apparently it was on sale for like $26.
Oh yeah, the Steam just had their summer sale.
I can't justify it because I need to like save money for other things.
Yeah, nope. Totally understandable.
Oh, there is something funny that I do want to talk about though, and I put it in the title of the stream too. Oh no, I didn't. I just said 40k fluff.
Yeah, no, yeah, it doesn't.
Fuck. So chat. As I was painting an Emperor's Children Lord Exultant. I've been really heavily into Emperor's Children since they got their stuff out, which is great. I'm very much enjoying their armor. Like, I'm enjoying their army look and everything. They added some fluff around Lucius, and it kind of made me love it even more. So, for those that don't know, the Emperor's Children...
What are you talking about?
There's two characters in the Emperor's Children. They're Demon Primarch Fulgrim, and their named character, Lucius the Eternal. Don't know why Lord Commander Eidolon isn't in here. That's some bullshit. Anyway.
I thought he was dead.
No, he's still alive.
Wow.
So, for those that don't know, Lucius is called the Eternal because if you kill him and take a second of satisfaction or any feeling of basically this fucker is dead,
Even relief.
That
the fight is over.
You become possessed by him.
It's not a slow possession either.
Yeah,
It takes time.
And by the way, they have expanded it. Even if you're not the one to pull the trigger that kills him, the second you hear that he's dead, or are informed of his death, that you caused it, he will possess you. They got around it.
For those of you who do have Warhammer Plus, there's actually a great Hammer and Bolter episode. And boss, it's not just great because it has my boys in it. It's not great because it has the Exorcist in it, though it is amazing to see them.
Yeah, no, it's the chaplain and a no, it's a Judicar and a chaplain, right? That are interrogating a cultist.
No, they're fighting Lucius actually.
Yeah, but like before they fight him, it's like they're talking to a cultist, like they're interrogating.
Yeah, because they're trying to find Lucius.
Yeah, and they fight Lucius and kill him, right?
Yeah, and like the majority of the episode is the Justicar. I think it's the Justicar. He's slowly turning into Lucius, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's slowly going insane because of it.
Yep, and then he becomes a face on Lucius's armor.
Yep.
So they added a little bit of fluff details to that, and I laughed my ass off when I read this. So Lucius has two weapons: the Lash of Torment and the Blade of Lair, the blade that corrupted Fulgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how everyone thought Lucius's powers worked is that the person that he possesses, not only do they, like, physically become Lucius, but, like, their armor becomes Lucius's armor. Their weapons become Lucius's weapons. No. The armor, yes. The weapons, no. Sometimes...
And their soul becomes Lucius as well.
Yeah. Sometimes he respawns with both weapons. Sometimes he only respawns with one. Most of the time, he respawns with neither. And it is heavily hinted at in this text that the only way he can keep coming back is if he's using those two specific weapons.
Okay. I like that.
It forces him each and every time to go on a quest to find these things.
I am okay. I just had the funniest idea of like somehow like the lowliest peasant in the Imperium manages to kill him. And now he has to figure out a way to get to an entirely different part of the galaxy as a peasant.
I had this whole like this was I was heavily tempted to post on TikTok this one idea. I was
It's a road trip movie. Make that a fucking movie.
I was
Oh
heavily
my God.
I was heavily tempted to post this idea on TikTok. Fully inspired by the Panda Red, by the way, and mentality, where Lucius, after dying, comes back and goes, "Where's my? God damn it! Not again!" And like breaks into like a local chaos bar that like a lot of people frequent, and the bartender's like, "Oh hey, Lucius, died again? Yep. Just give me my regular, and see if like any of the demons know where my sword is." Okay, yep. Problem? What? They don't know where it is. Their entire fucking purpose is to do nothing all day and watch mortals fuck around. What the fuck do you mean they don't know where it is? They just don't know where it is. Do you remember where you died? I don't know, some mud ball or something?
I think I've already guessed the punchline to this joke.
I had no punchline for it. It's literally just him getting more and more annoyed until I could figure out the punchline.
The punchline is the Raven Guard have it.
Oh my god, Sharokin, fuck. Wild Fuda Girl, thank you for stopping in.
Yeah. It's always nice to have new people.
I just realized this person's name. I read it out loud. I autopiloted. I
clearly haven't.
What's
Like,
the
are there two brain cells not connecting?
Who is this cute little mole? Hi, I'm announcer of games. My brain just stopped. What's wrong with her name? The kinky cow god. There's nothing wrong with their name. There's nothing wrong with their name. I'm just... I read that out loud, and I laughed. Because I autopiloted the name. And I'm just like, I said that out loud. That's funny. But, so... Yeah, like, that was something I read on The Emperor's Children. I think it's a lovely name. Are these multiple people, or is this the same person? Oh shit, these are multiple people. Who are you people? Hello! Welcome in! How are you all doing?
Did you get raided or something?
No, I don't think I got raided. I just think one friend shared their channel with their friends.
Ah.
And yeah, no, these are legit people. They're good. They just have very kinky names.
I like kinky.
We like kinky. We're no kink shamers here.
Oh.
Sees who I work for. Actually, she was just playing Doom. I shared it. There you go. See? Remarkably, I am like, I think I'm the most safest for safe for work out of all of my friends. Like, let's take a minute to review this here, chat. I work for a Lamia, a hypnotic Lamia that does not safe for work stuff, tons of not safe for work stuff, and ASMR videos. Inside her collaboration den, multiple people, by the way, all very talented and love their work. All of them do some form of not safe for work content. Then we get into Lasgar Lockman, who is Big Booba Orc Blacksmith, who he too is not safe for work. And I think the only other safe for work person, no, I think like there's two safe for work people that I know. He's Big Fat Socialist. Laz is why I know ya. Yeah. And Hoodguard. I think that's why. Orc, what? You heard what I fucking said. You heard me said Big Booba Orc Blacksmith Lady.
Yeah, you heard him, you coward.
You heard me. Thick thighs save lives. And here I am, as an interdimensional mole, with a bar, where I talk about stupid shit, and all of them are just sitting beyond the camera, enjoying their lives. Don't you play with Fairbanks? I don't think I have. I have been flashbanged with words. Welcome to every day of my fucking life and having TCOM, Shadow, Aramis, and Owldull Arts as moderators. That is me 24/7. Every time they open their goddamn mouths or type something in chat, it is a Russian roulette of either the most interesting conversations you will have at 2 a.m. or they say something just to hurt you.
Speaking of, you want to know the kind of shit I do, chat? I will say stuff like, I feel like causing chaos today, and then do nothing for the rest of the day, simply because I know boss is gonna see that and just sit there waiting for what's about to happen, but it never comes.
No,
Chat.
No, I'm not Pavlov's dog enough for that. I learned. I grew. Like, chat, like, there's so much
I need
shit.
to step up my game. You shouldn't have told me that.
Go ahead! Like, if I had to, like, list a video that makes me think of people, you are Digimon Abridged, the April Fool's joke that Team 4-Star made years ago.
I didn't even know they did that.
That shit's funny.
Okay, so I am pulling up YouTube to go watch that after stream.
What did I miss? Well, I auto-read Wild Fuda Girl. I auto-read that. Didn't think of it until my brain did a fast reboot and go, think about what you just said. Think about what you just read out. Autoed. Like, you auto-read it out loud. Nothing says chaos like opening an orphanage for the sole purpose of raising little warlocks indoctrinated to the old ones.
You could have warned me that I was gonna get ear raped. God damn, I'd even have a second to pause it before just blasting in my ears.
Digimon. Fucking... I'm into something fresh. Clearly.
Lines like that just remind me of
You know why?
the Ghost Stories dub.
It very much feels like it. They made Ty like a massive sex pest. It's hilarious.
Oh god.
By the way, the only reason they made that was because, and I quote, It was released on April Fool's Day as the Broly movie.
I remember how much people were wanting the Broly movie.
Yeah, and they released that April Fool's Day
Okay.
with the Broly movie tag and everything. Like, the fucking thumbnail they would use for the Broly movie.
Oh my god, that would have pissed me off so much, but that is funny.
Oh, it was. Essentially, the entire plot of the episode is that the Dark Masters, like the main antagonists of Digimon Adventure 1, they copyrighted Digidestined. Alright, I think we might have overstepped our boundaries. Well, maybe we were a little vague with our message, but no, I mean, we launched nukes. What? Oh, yes. Yes, we thought the claims weren't getting the message across. So, if you use Digidestined or Digimon in any way that is similar or even remotely similar, we will bomb the shit out of you. Okay, but how does that make us money? Put it on a shirt! Japan, a place so nice they nuked it thrice.
Wait, when was the third time?
Well, like, they took the Digimon movie, right? And for those that don't know, there was a Digimon movie, but what happened is that they spliced 3 animated shorts into one film. 3 completely unrelated shorts.
It was a very confusing movie.
Yeah, but the short that they parodied was the middle of the movie, where essentially a virus took over the internet named Diaboromon. And Diaboromon basically launched a nuke at Ty's house. Because how dare you try to stop me? You little prick.
So I feel like I need to give a little context about the movie for me. I was a kid when I first saw this movie and knew nothing about Digimon. I thought it was just a knockoff version of Pokemon going in. And then to watch that movie, you can understand why I never touched Digimon again after that.
I can still hear 40K Farva screaming in the distance. But, yeah, like, the entire purpose of it was to, A, make fun of YouTube copyright, B, fuck with people with the Broly movie, and C, just make an entertaining video that ends with Lanny setting the entirety of Team 4 Star's offices on fire. As well as introduce new writers Grant and, Kieran. Who are very funny motherfuckers, by the way. For those that don't know, Grant, he was the guy who, in one video, they had blamed for as a joke, they blamed him for causing the delays with episode 60. And Kieran, but also, sorry, Grant first, sorry. He played Devimon in the abridged for Abridgimon because they wanted, he made the joke because he was one of their biggest critics back in the day, back when, like, Dragon Ball Z Abridged was running around. He was one of their biggest critics. And the first joke that they gave him was, hey guys, hey guys, glad to be here. I'm just happy that having money matters more than having an opinion. A direct shot at him, which is very fucking funny.
And him willing to do that too is amazing.
He's also the guy in episode from episodes 57 to 60 who says, "That makes sense. That also makes sense. Yeah, fuck Goku." That's Grant.
I have to agree. Fuck Goku.
And then Kieran, he got one role. He got one role, and he was a writer for the rest of it. He was the robots in the second Cooler movie. He went beep.
Who do you serve?
Also, don't play Among Us with Kieran. He will fuck with you. He led everybody by the balls. Actually, he's famous for
I kind of want to play Among Us with you now.
Oh, God. He is famous for,
You think I'm insufferable now?
during a round of imposter, in a 10-person round, his fellow imposter was their guy named Jesse, who was the original voice actor for their version of Abridged Sarah's Victoria. And Jesse didn't know what he was doing. He was very confused. So, in Reactor, Kieran kills right in front of Jesse when people are walking in, and then pins Jesse for the murder. And Jesse's just like, wait, what? I didn't kill him. What?
What a power play.
Yeah, because the imposter would never throw their friend under the bus. Kieran would go to win the round.
What a power play. God damn. That's just like...
He is diabolically
taking
evil.
Fuck you to another level.
Also, they play with their lawyer, like their actual lawyer for their company. And he's just like, at one point, Kieran says, "You're lying to me." And he says, "Kieran, if I'm bad at lying, I am shit at the job that I have to do for all of you." That's like hiring someone that doesn't know how to drive a car for NASCAR. And Kieran just stared at him and went, "Yeah, no, he's not the killer. No one can be that vindictive towards me and not be not be innocent." Oh my god.
And if you decide to go against it anyways, you're just flat out saying, hey, you're bad at your job.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Which, as a boss, is a dick thing to do.
Also, that was they
Unless
coined
they
the term.
actually do really suck at their jobs. They do that. Tell people they suck at their jobs.
They also had hashtag Toss Kaiser and Toss Lanny, which was just great. Mastimon
tip
is
from an employer. A tip from an employer who knew that being honest with your employees actually earned their respect.
Who is fucking Mastimon?
Nastymon.
Oh, it's a Digimon that is the mix of the angel and like the two angels, like the dark angel and the regular angel from Digimon. Cool. But yeah,
I am completely lost.
I'm lost too. All right, but E2's past stream time, so we're gonna go right into Spooky Rose, because chat, if you're gonna learn something about me, is that if you have a wizard or witch aesthetic as a woman, God, am I gonna follow you immediately? I like designs. I'm sorry. So we're just public with what you like now. I have done Monster Girl tier list, okay? I know what I'm about. I know who I am. I know exactly what I'm about. I don't hide it. Hot magic ladies, yay! Yeah, we're gonna go right into them. So if you can, please go subscribe, share my videos around. My Warhammer Open video is currently out. I'll be re-promoting it all week because it's one of my big videos and I'm hopefully very proud of it. With the next video coming out next weekend because I have a bigger project on the way. I want to die. Send help. Taurus Heresy. I'm very scared. Thank you to all the people that showed up. I very much appreciate you. And yeah, get your emotes ready. Get ready for a raid into Spooky Rose as they're playing Zenless Zone Zero. I have no idea what that is. Let's go find out!
It's a gotcha game.
But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Okay, have fun!